Welcome back, viewers. This is Business Compass, and today we have Smino soap. Or is it Smino detergent?
Smino detergents.
Smino detergent. Okay, we're going to go into all that, and we're going to be looking at the legal issues and maybe some strategy. But if you're watching and you want to be on the show, please send a 1-minute video to our producer on her WhatsApp line 026 300 5055. Or if you have a business challenge, a question you want us to answer, send a WhatsApp video to that same line 026 300 5055, and we will get back to you. So, Hayat.
Yes, ma'am.
We've discussed your name. So it's Smino detergent.
Yes.
But you're now making
soaps is Smino Naturals.
Okay, there's Smino detergent and there's Smino Naturals. So what's the company name?
Clean Break Company Limited.
It's a limited liability
Yes,
company.
please.
Okay, so where does Smino's detergents and Smino Naturals, where do they fit in?
They are the brands.
How have you registered them?
It's under the company.
How is it registered under the company?
I have to check. I don't have it offhand, but then it's there. But I haven't done my trademark yet. I'm in the process of doing it. But the company name is Clean Break Company, but the products are Smino.
Okay, so the way that would work is that Clean Break is the limited liability entity.
Yes.
And you've registered this two as business names.
Yes, please. I think it's the trademark. I'm not sure, but I have to refer. But then that's the trademark, and I'm in the process of registering it as a trademark.
Okay.
Yes.
But you know you have to be sure.
Yes.
And you know why you have to be sure?
Yes.
Why?
Because I need to be sure that it's available for me.
Yeah, because the liability, if there's any issues, it's going to hit you.
Yes.
So
yes.
that's why
I checked that, and then we started the process of registering the trademark.
But trademark is different from the...
The business name is Clean Break Company Limited.
Okay. So since it's a limited liability company, who is your company secretary?
That's all.
The law requires that you have a company secretary.
Yes.
The law requires that, and the company secretary has specific qualifications that you have. The law requires that you have 2 directors. Why are your 2 directors?
It's myself and then my partner.
Yes, partner. How many board meetings have you had since June last year? Not over dinner at home.
None. In that case, it's none.
Because the company secretary was not there. Okay, so now the point is you've picked a legal structure that, in the sense of what you're doing, is good. And I'll tell you why. You are selling products that people are using. So there can be liability issues.
Right.
And we keep thinking these things won't happen in Ghana, but we're getting there.
Yes.
And they've started. So there can be liability issues. So you tell me, this is allergy free and I use it and I get an allergic reaction, I could sue you. So it's good that you've used a vehicle that limits the liability and protects your personal assets. What that means is that if I was suing, I would be suing Clean Break Company Limited.
Yes, please.
And so I can only go after the assets of Clean Break Company Limited. I cannot come and take your house or your vehicle. So it's good. But that structure you've picked also comes with obligations.
Right.
And it's really important that you get familiar with those obligations and you are compliant. Because if you're not, you get hit with penalties and fines, and so you just keep racking up liability. So you must have a company secretary. You must have a minimum of 2 directors. I would suggest strongly that you get additional directors, and don't see it as an expense. In these days of Zoom, you can have Zoom board meetings, but when you have an independent person outside you and your partner, you see that it forces you to be better structured, because you'd have to sit and take that person into consideration. So if for instance Petra or Frank are directors in my business, I would have to structure meetings and speak to them. Oh, would this time work for you? The regularity, so they can also plan their schedules. And then they bring in knowledge that is not immediately available to you, and it's not expensive.
Okay.
And you're just a startup. You can find people within your circle of friends who are very encouraging, who would agree to be on your board. Part of it may be reviewing. Part of it may even be that you give them products as payment, and they also use and they give you feedback. So it doesn't have to be that expensive, but there's so many benefits you can get out of having that input. Seeing where you're going out, suggest a board of like 5.
5. Okay.
You and your partner and 3 others. So look at the kinds of skills that
Are required.
that you need to grow the business to where you want to take the business to. You know, I clearly see branding and marketing. I think your packaging and all that could do with some work. Some strategy would help. And I don't know your partner's background and capacity, so think law, think finance, if you don't have those between both of you. But I mean, you're doing fantastic, but I think this would really help you, you know, step it up. And then you talk about your vision. You hope to become the preferred choice for affordable, organic and effective household products, as well as natural beauty care products within the next 3 to 5 years. It's all very hazy, isn't it, guys?
Yeah,
What's preferred choice? What's that? What does that mean in terms of revenue? You see, to make a vision really work for you, you have to drill it down. So ask yourself, when I say I want to become the preferred choice, what does that mean? How many units of this you want to sell to know you're the preferred choice? That forces you also to study the market. So if your competitors are selling, and that's back to Petra's market segmentation. If you can't say you're selling to everyone, because you're setting yourself up to compete with Unilever. You're not at that level. So decide where your market is. So if your competitors are selling 1,000 units a month, that tells you that you need to be doing way
Minimum
more than
of
that
1,000.
to know that you have achieved the goal of being the preferred choice. But if you put it in such hazy terms, preferred choice, within the next 3 to 5 years, that is so unclear. So start with the 5-year goal. And then you know that every year, this is what I have to do to get there. And remember that as you're growing, others are growing. The competition is also growing. But you need to bring it down to is it going to look like in 4 years, in 3 years, in 2 years, and in 1 year. And then in the 1 year, you can even do quarterly and then monthly goals. It forces you to be better structured. But this vision has to change, Hayat.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to make a quick comment on the logo. I noticed that you have really nice, very colorful. But one of the things about brand recognition is consistency.
Yeah.
Every time we see Smino, we should see it in the same font, same color, same representation, so that the recall. So essentially, recall is when we see it, we know that's Smino. So we can walk into a shop and we know exactly what we're looking for. We just take it off the shelf. And in terms of recognition, in the midst of other brands, it's immediately identifiable. It stands out. Okay, so that's what a brand is. It distinguishes you from everybody else. So I noticed you have Smino, then you have something like a pump here, and then this one has bubbles, and this one has
another bubble
something
with
else.
something.
So maybe you're trying to distinguish the different products, but with the brand
it should be the same.
Must be consistent.
And even with your trust the process, it must be positioned at the same place. You see, it's in different positions. It should be at the same position on every single product.
And the length of the the packaging also has to be as much as possible consistent.
Okay, actually, this is for 1 liter. I didn't have the 1 liter label, so I just put the 5 liter. So this is for a different size.
Okay.
So that's why.
Okay. And another thing, another reason why that's important is because then your customers can identify when it's not you and it's an imitation.
Ah, good.
Yeah.
So if it's consistent and it stands out, they know that somebody is
know.
trying to steal the brand or copy the brand.
Down
No, that's
to
not
batch numbers,
exactly.
expiry dates, everything has to be the same.
Okay. Thanks.
So you also mentioned that in your vision that you want to be seen as an organic product.
Affordable.
So tell us what makes it organic in your sense, so your customers would understand what they have, the value they have.
Okay, so when I talk about organic, it's mainly for the skincare products.
Okay.
And
So the vision is only for the skincare.
no, when I use the word organic, I'm referring to the skincare.
I get you, but
yeah.
it's in your vision statement to make affordable, organic, and effective household products as well as natural beauty care. So you really have to aim at it covering everything you do.
Okay, so we need to look at that again.
And if it's not realistic for everything, you can take it out.
Yes. Then it wouldn't work for both products.
Yeah.
But when I say organic, it's because when you the ingredients that I use for the skincare products are things that, aside from the chemical that you use for instance, the soap, everything else is something that is edible or something that you can find in your kitchen.
Okay.
So that's what the sense that I am.
But that's a great marketing or branding. I don't know, Petra.
So,
that should be.
Let me, because you see, we see a lot organic. There are a lot of things we eat that's not organic.
Yes.
So you need to, in the international definition, they're just for learning purposes for viewers. In the international definitions, when they say organic, they want to be able to trace your product back to your supplier and how it was even planted, and whether in planting and the agric process for your thing, they use chemicals to spray and all those things. So it's a nice term that is out there nowadays, but there are responsibilities that comes to position yourself as organic.
Right.
Are you ready to carry that burden? Or we can find another word that
we'll
actually
probably
describes
need to
what you're
find
doing
another
without
word,
that burden.
We need to find another word because
what I see is like yours is like a healthier choice.
Yes.
And we can do that without using
burdening
organic.
ourselves
Yes.
with,
And another important label you may want to adapt is the handmade.
Yes.
I see you've put handmade on most of them.
Yes.
That's a very powerful
because those are
proposition.
actually handmade.
Yeah. And you mentioned the issue of everything in it is available in your kitchen. There's a lot of value that type of proposition offers to the customer.
Right.
We just have to find how to frame it properly to make it
sellable
and appealing. So handmade is important. Everywhere in the world, anything that is handmade is considered premium.
Value,
yes.
Thank you.
Yeah,
So
but
there's
then that
value
means that
in there we need to release.
yeah, that also means that probably you may not be that affordable as you put in your, because
I think the mission is going to change.
Handmade is never mass.
It's relative. Affordable is relative.
Yes.
It's a premium high end.
Because if I'm paying for something that is healthier, that is handmade, and that I know is less harmful to myself and my family, I should be willing to pay more if I'm buying something.
Right.
And then there's also the part of the environmental sustainability that's also globally a trend that you want to take advantage of. The ingredients are not harmful to the environment. If
that's correct.
If that's true, you should tell that story as well. So you mentioned that the things in your kitchen, so these are things that are edible, not necessarily harmful to the environment, can be put back into the environment. They are biodegradable, things like that.
Okay.
All of those stories make...
Petra, I like that, but I wanted us to look at those issues in the context of her challenges.
Okay.
And also the fact that I think that strategy-wise, if we're going, and I think that's where she should be going actually, shouldn't that story be consistent even with the packaging?
Yes.
But she's telling us she has a problem with finding packaging material. So I wanted to tie that whole environmentally friendly, the whole green thing to the not just the product.
By the packaging as
Yes,
well.
because if that's the brand, that it is green, it is healthy, it is environmentally friendly, then your packaging needs to be environmentally friendly.
As well.
I'm not quite seeing that.
Heavy plastic.
maybe we should take a break. And when we come back, we look at your challenges, which really, and one of the main ones you told us was finding affordable packaging materials, delivery costs, and your inability to meet increasing demand. I think those are the main ones. The other two we will take off screen with you, but we don't think they are major issues. But those three tie in with what we're describing, and I know Petra will tie it to your marketing channels, the online presence and all that. When we come back, it's going to be Petra's segment really, because it's going to be a lot of making sure that the products and the packaging are aligned, and also aligned with the vision, and then aligned with the marketing strategy, and Frank, possibly aligned with the overall financial strategy and pricing. So it all kind of ties in, but you're in a good place actually. Don't feel bad, don't look like that, you're in a good place. I think it's just what you're doing different things, and we're just trying to
put it together
and release the value, the true value in what you're doing. It may be time for to listen to Coach Bell and calm Hayat down a bit. So we'll take a break. We'll go to Coach's Corner, and when we come back, we will try and tie all this together nicely. So please stay with us, and we'll be right back.
Welcome to Coach's Corner on Business Compass. I am Coach Bell. Tonight we're going to talk about how to keep a healthy relationship between you and your customers. So how do you do it? First, your customers are the heartbeat of your business. They are your best alert to knowing whether your business is doing well or bad. So you must make it a point to listen to your customers attentively, satisfy their needs, exceed their expectations, keep them happy always, and you will have a long, healthy heartbeat that will keep your business alive. Second, a happy and satisfied customer will guarantee you referrals and new businesses, but a disgruntled, unsatisfied, and angry customer will send your business heartbeat flatlining. And that is a recipe for disaster. Your business will not only end up in intensive care unit, it could sadly die. So do not forget that the customer is king, and never forget that the customer is always right. So that is how you keep a healthy relationship between you and your customers. Let me recap. There is only one boss, and that is the customer. See you next week.